So your name is Barry
Penter.
Penter.
P-E-N-T-E-R.
Penter, like Black Panther. It's not same way
thing,
written, but
same thing but different.
yeah. And you are how many years old?
I am two ages.
Two ages.
Yes, because I am 74, but because I'm in Vietnam, I'm 75.
Oh.
Because the age thing works here is different. Namely, in your first year, you are 1,
Oh.
not 0.
That's true. I never thought about that.
Yeah. So I'm 75 and I'm 74.
Okay. What do you prefer?
Either, I don't care.
Doesn't matter, right?
I prefer 35. It was a lot more fun.
You are originally from Australia, north of Perth.
Correct.
And tell me how you grew up.
Yeah, that's tricky. Okay, well, I grew up in a family of 4, namely 2 parents and 2 brothers. It was a bit of a messy family. It was a bit messy. My father was a bit of a tyrant and tried, and in fact succeeded in making me work as a child. So I was sort of child labour for him in a business that he had, which in some ways was good because it gave me a work ethic that I was forced into, but it gave me a work ethic anyway. But of course, him and I didn't get on. My mother was suppressed by him, which I hate. I hate that attitude, and it goes right through to today, where there are certain institutions and things that I support that work against those sorts of things. So under that influence, then I took on various things, including leaving home at 16 and going out into the world on my own, but I managed to gain a degree of independence by working in the electrical engineering field, which I enjoyed, and took that on for many, many years until I retired at 67, 68. And of course, during that time, the whole electrical industry changed radically. It's probably the one industry that changed out of all the industries in the world due to technology.
And still, right?
And still changing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the way things started were at this level, but now the level I was working at when I left were way up there, way above, which meant you had to work on the cutting edge all the time, which I was happy to do. I like those challenges, I like new stuff, I like taking on difficult things, and I worked my way through to that. After getting towards that stage where I had to think about what I was going to do next, then I was looking at various things. But one day I went out and I bought a little tin of pencils, which I've still actually got the tin, and it had 6 pencils, and I started fluffing around with those, making marks and stuff like that.
Were you like 17, 18 then, or?
No, this is 67. It's 67.
Oh, sorry. I'm totally different one. Yes.
As I was looking to retire, this was. Yeah, so then I started fluffing around with pencils, and then about a month after I started that, I drew my first picture, which was about this big, great big one of a guy called Michael Hutchins, who's the lead singer of INXS. Mm-hmm. So when I finished that, I took that to the place I was working one day, and one of the CEOs walked past. He said, "Oh, that's a nice poster." I said, "That's not a poster, I drew that." He said, "Oh, what?" And I thought, oh, well, there must be something in the drawing that I can do. So I continued down that path, fell in love with it.
And you are incredibly good at it.
Yeah,
I have to say that.
Okay at it, yes.
When you reached out to me on Facebook and I saw it, I was like, nah, this has got to be photographs. Until you wrote that you were doing graphite, what is it called? Graphite. Yes. I was like, what even is that? It looks like a photograph. That is not real. So you are good at it. I will give you that. And in between, until you pick up that pencil case, are you an art enthusiast? Are you interested? Do you go to galleries, or you just like no idea what art is? Nothing.
When I was a kid, I enjoyed drawing, as all kids do. So I always say that everybody's an artist because they like to draw and stuff like that. And I could actually do a few things at that age of 5, 6, and 7. There were things that I would impress my family with. Yeah. That was it. Until 60 years later, there was no art, no nothing, nothing like that.
And walking through your life, were there moments where you had like this thought, like, oh, maybe there's something else for me?
Yes, always. There was always that nagging feeling of what else can I do? What else is there? And it wasn't really a case of what else can I do. It's really a case of there's something missing. Mm-hmm. And there was something missing, and that's what it was. But
and when you when you painted and when you drew your first picture, or the CEO acknowledged it, did you feel like that's it?
I felt like that was something to explore rather than that's it.
Okay.
Consider it something to explore, and that led me down the path that I've been on for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, full time.
Yeah, that is amazing. Do you still have the feeling that there's something else, or do you
yes. Oh, yeah. It is like it's 10 years and I'm reasonably good.
Yeah.
But good's the enemy of great.
Yeah, that is true.
If you want to be good, be good. But if you want to be great,
you
don't be good.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I'm at that level, as you can see in some of the works that are in here now, that I can produce something that's close to what I would like to be able to do. But even then, I've still got this nagging feeling that there's somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
And that somewhere else may be colour.
Colour.
Maybe colour.
Ooh.
So there's another whole other area there, a whole other path to go down. We shall see.
And why did you get into black or monochrome rather than color first? Is that typical for this field of art?
When I was during my 20s, I was doing photography, and I always enjoyed black and white photography more.
Yeah.
From my point of view, I think that it's far harder to create something realistically using one colour, which is what I'm doing. I'm just using black, put down onto white paper. So white is white, and everything after that is grey through to black, so it's tones of black. And so everything has to be graduated, and it has to be found, the correct tones have to be found in the way that it works. So to create something that becomes almost 3D with one colour is super difficult, yet very easy with practice. So that's where the challenge was, and I think that that's where I wanted to go to make that challenge, take on that challenge, and to create something realistic. And also could be more than just recognised. So it's easy to be recognised, but it's more than recognised. Yeah,
okay, I see what you mean. I feel also with colour you can create more eye-catching contrast quicker.
Oh, very easy to use colour.
Yeah.
From my point of view. And I know that every colour artist will tell otherwise, and I appreciate that. In fact,
there's also, there's science.
But the thing with colour is that you just get a brush and you paint. Okay, so how much have you actually covered in that brush stroke is dependent upon the width of the actual brush. But if you take the brush and you take all the hairs out, apart from about 5 hairs, that's what I'm working with.
Yeah.
I'm working with very, very thin, very, very fine pencils. Can I go and grab one? I'll show you.
Grab one and tell me more about what exactly it's like. So the process is, what it's called.
Here is a typical one of my pencils, and you can see what the end is like, and that's how sharp the pencil is that I work with. So you cannot use a pencil in that shape, in that form, to cover large areas.
You can't, no. Well, or you're going to spend a lot of time, like you do.
A lot of time. Yeah, correct. But the beauty of that sharpness and the beauty of that pencil is that you have the ability to create different tones all in a very thin space or a very small space, which is quite important in this work. Because if you're doing realism, then and especially figurative realism, you have to understand how the part that you're drawing is made up. So for a colorist, then they make it up in tones of color. So for example, to do a shadow, they would probably use green and red, and then variations on the green and red. So a cool green, a warm green, and a cool red and a red, and a warm red, and then thin it out and slowly move into a pink. Whereas I can't do that with this. I have to use the pressure of the pencil the lightness of tone.
Yeah.
But I have so much room in there to create that transition from the dark into the light, which is what the point is.
And is this some sort of hyper fixation of your interest, that this is the only thing you want to do right now?
This art is the only thing I want to do right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean I'm old enough that I can sit back and relax and do that.
Yeah.
I'm experienced enough that I can do that. I'm not looking for money. I'm not drawing for money. In fact, most of my stuff goes to charities, which I can talk about.
Yes, I did read that on your webpage. Yeah.
But the important thing for me is that I want to take these challenges. See, I'm not dead yet, so everything's got to have another challenge.
Yeah.
How can I live if I don't have challenges?
That is the right approach.
I mean, so many people have jobs which last them forever. Mm-hmm. So I know people who had jobs for 30 or 40 years and then they retire and then they sit on the couch all day watching TV and that's their life. That's not for me. I don't want to do that. I want that next challenge. I want to make it harder and harder and harder. Mm-hmm. But for me, careful with this one, you might want to edit it. But for me, drawing is like sex.
Okay.
If it's not hard, I'm probably not interested.
Yes, very true. I think that is a very good standpoint.
So that's how I view it. I don't view it like that, but I do consider things that are hard need to be addressed and need to be tried.
Yeah, no, that is a very good view. I've never heard that.
That's because I made it up.
That is very, very true.
So that's what I like to be able to do, is to find those challenges and to master them.
Yeah.
But there's a second point to it too. For realism, and especially for figurative realism, there's a little thing that gets in the road of the majority of people who take it on. And that thing is their own brains.
Usually that's the issue, eh?
Yeah, and I say that not on the basis of being cruel or anything like that, but the reality is that the brain cheats.
Yeah.
The brain uses heuristics to filter out what's important. So our eyes, as we look around this room, for example, I can see everything from here all the way forward and then outside, but I concentrate on you.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can still see everything. The important thing to my brain is not that window over there, it's not the wall, it's not the backpack on the floor, nothing is. It's simply what I'm looking at on you because I'm talking to you. So I'm looking at your expressions, your micro-expressions, etc. But my brain is doing all this other work as well, but it's concentrated in this area. So this is heuristics. If we sat here and suddenly a cat ran in the door, our brain would instantly look at the cat and forget everything else because something new has happened.
And odd.
Yeah, and odd.
Out of order. Yeah.
Or if you're riding a motorbike and suddenly somebody comes out at you, your brain automatically turns your head and says, look at that, this is important, so as you can change direction and do whatever. That's heuristics. So the same, for me, heuristics is important in realism so as you can break down what you're seeing and concentrate on the thinness of this pencil then. Okay, and if you can do that, then you can see those little changes in tone, those little patches where something's not quite dark, it's sort of dark, but it's not dark, then it's got little changes in the actual tone, and there's a spot there, things like that. So heuristics for me are key to my ability to work at this level. And it's a Bible that I want to push, but I can't because nobody really wants to work at this level.
So you think how are you going to get better at this? Because I think you are very good at it already, but you probably have a trained eye, right? So how do you get better? Because you say you are not at the level you want to be yet. Do you have to keep more time studying every line? Do you have to study other people's work? How are you going to progress from here?
By doing something harder.
Harder? Yeah. Which would be?
Well,
like more contrasty pictures?
No, like something like this. Now, I don't know that your camera will pick this up.
Maybe roughly, yeah.
But you can see the hair on this young lady here.
Oh.
Yeah?
There's a lot of change.
Yeah.
Per line.
Correct. So when
So you drawing lines, right?
I draw grids.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a grid, and
Yeah.
the red square gives me my grid, and then I work inside that grid. The grids give me the ability to concentrate on an area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Otherwise, your mind is everywhere.
Yeah, correct. And as soon as you look, it becomes something else. You're looking at something else.
Oh, you
So-
can't look there and draw here.
Yeah. So you can see in the hair all the variations of tone, all the little pieces that need to make this up to make it realistic, okay, and to make it accurate. That's the challenge, is to keep finding images like this and keep pushing those boundaries.
Man, I can take you a lot of pictures.
I'm always interested. So this is where I'm heading. This one I'm doing for a friend of mine. But the point with it is that's the step for me, is to go down that path. Now, whether or not that's the only step is yet to be seen, because, like I say, I'm thinking about working with colour. So
I mean, maybe that can teach you something about that as well, where you like, with the color you improve your skill, that helps you to get better at the monochrome as well, right?
Potentially, yeah.
Who knows, maybe subconscious or something,
Correct.
you end up getting better at that. That is, I
Correct.
think that's very true. And are you interested in because I think you posted on TikTok some sketches you draw? Are you interested in exploring, like progressing more on that, or is that just like for fun whenever I'm not doing my
Well, there's a couple of them here that you can see.
With
right?
charcoal, right?
With charcoal, yeah. And they're a bit of fun to do. The reason I took them on is because I ran out of work to sell for charities, okay? And I took them on so as I could actually do live drawing at an event.
at the orphanage, right?
No, at an event,
Oh,
at a
events,
fundraising event.
Yeah.
So I could do 1 hour, 1.5 hour studies.
And that's quicker.
And sell them.
Yeah.
Okay, so one that I sold raised 5 million for a
Really?
charity. Yeah, 5 million dong.
Yeah.
So, and that worked quite well for me. And I thought, okay, then that was for a orphanage about probably a little while ago now, and I haven't done one since. But that's a quick way for me to raise money.
Yeah, and give back, yeah.
Yeah, and without having to sell these great big ones that are very long in time, very long in process. So from that point of view, that's one of the reasons I took this on. Plus, it gives me a little bit more ability to be freer.
Playful.
Yeah, more playful. I still want to turn them into semi-realistic, so they are expressionistic paintings or drawings, yeah. So I like this idea. But the other thing with this is that it actually showed me the entry into pastels. So pastels work in a similar way
Like charcoal.
to charcoal rather than graphite. And I like that idea, which is why I bought a box of pastels now, and I'm going to colours. Yeah.
Oh, color pastels. That is okay. I see.
So I got to play with that.
Oh, there's a lot to play there, I think.
Absolutely, there is. So that's an area I want to open up. Or I'm thinking of opening up.
And are you still doing photographs?
No. I photographed with my phone. The one that I've just completed up there,
This one?
the player, yes, that was a photograph of mine,
Man, it looks like a photograph.
and it looks like a photograph.
It does.
Yeah, it is.
It
quite good.
100% does.
Yeah. So that was a photograph of mine when I was on the last trip to Europe.
Yeah.
I was in Europe, in
Where's that?
Spain, and that was done in Slovakia.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like Romanian, something like that.
Yeah. So my wife and I were in Barcelona in March, April this year, sorry, because I got to the finals of the mod portrait competition.
Yes, tell me about, that is the one of the most, how do you say, renowned competitions, and you made it to what, top 30?
Top 30 in the drawing class.
Yeah, in the drawing class.
So the mod portrait has been going on for 13, 14 years now. It's recognised as being in one of the top 5 portraiture competitions in the world. And I put in an entry back in 2021 which didn't go through, which was fine. It meant I wasn't good enough. So I took on board the fact that I wasn't good enough, but I'd already done that anyway, and continued down the path until I came up with this one up here, this is a print of it.
Yeah.
When I put that one in, then I managed to get through to the finalists, and so we decided to go to Barcelona for a week. Then from there we went into Slovakia, into Europe.
And is that exhibition now that piece?
That exhibition, they held the exhibition in Barcelona, then they moved the exhibition to Madrid, and after that my piece came back home. So this piece is now being sold at a silent auction this month.
The original piece?
The original.
Ooh.
Has now gone to the Australian Chamber of Commerce here in Vietnam, and is going to be sold for via a silent auction on the 22nd of November, this month. And the proceeds from that all go to their charities, which includes the Blue Dragon Children's Foundation.
Which is here or?
Here in Vietnam.
Here in Vietnam, okay. Yeah. What do? They look for children's health or for the future?
The Blue Dragon has been operating now for 20 years here in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. Started 20 years ago by Michael Borozowski from Australia, who was here at the time just going through his college degrees and so forth. And he saw a situation whereby there was a lot of street kids, so he started talking to them. Eventually he created a house in this area here where I am, and in that house he had kids come and just stay, get them off the street, stay and so forth, etc., and give them some English courses, and then
help them get jobs,
get them back into schools. And that grew and grew and grew and grew, where now they've got something like 45,000 people have been through this organisation. They're now into the situation where they're rescuing in other countries around here those children and young adults that have been stolen from Vietnam and sent into other countries as slaves in brothels, working in centres, call centres, for example. They're also looking after kids that are on the streets, and their work continues, and it's massive work.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it's fabulous work that they're doing. They've got to the point now where they've actually got the authorities on their side here. So the Vietnam authorities are very proactive on the front of slavery, and they're actually prosecuting people here who commit these acts and take these people away from their country or put them into slavery, and do a very impressive job of doing that. And slowly, hopefully, the numbers will come down. The issue is that the areas remote from Hanoi are full of villages up in the mountains, and the very poor villages, and the young kids feel that they have to get out of there and come to Hanoi and earn money to send back to their parents.
And they're on the street, a lot of them?
Yeah. And they come looking for work. Some of them are very young, some of them are not so young, but they come looking for work. They want to work.
Yeah.
And then they get trapped into cycles that are not good for them.
Yeah.
So
abuse, probably, right?
Yeah. So Blue Dragon sends social workers out streets looking for people like that. So they've got quite a couple hundred people who go and work for them.
So you're not taking any profits from it? No. It's going to go all...
I've raised over 100 million now for Blue Dragon and for other charities as well. Yeah. Not just for Blue Dragon, but also for other. They're my favourite one because they do such massive work here.
Wow.
So
that is incredible.
The work goes into that.
I think that is incredible. And I don't know if that is too personal for you, do you feel like that healed something inside of you?
I don't think it healed something, but I recognise the need. Yeah. I recognise people that are similar. So one of my...
And you understand the feeling.
Yeah, I have an empathy for that. I mean, one of the biggest things throughout my life is that I've held everybody's secrets. Yeah. So people see me as somebody to come and talk to. and talk very personally, because they know somehow that I will never go outside of what they want. I will deal with them and deal with what their issues are, even if it's just talking and saying, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So I've always been the person that people came to, and I admit that that's what I do. I don't have a problem with it, and I'm quite happy to do that.
Yeah.
So because of that, then I guess I've got that empathy. And because of where I came from, that empathy existed. So, I have a bigger understanding.
I think that's really cool to be able to do something that you love, not have to worry too much about living circumstances, as it's very affordable here as well.
Correct.
And give back for something that you care about and understand.
Yeah.
I think that's a big achievement.
Yeah, it is.
Not everybody can say that of themselves.
No. The beauty of living here as somebody in my position, age-wise and money-wise, is that it's not expensive to live here, and I am hugely appreciative of that. And I hope that doesn't change, because while I am in a position whereby I can utilise that, there are many people here who still struggle.
Yeah.
And Vietnam is slowly becoming divided, and they have to be careful about this. And I know that the political system here appreciates that, and the governmental departments and so forth appreciate that, and they are holding on to that need to keep things at the level where everybody can live.
Yeah.
Even if it's not living at the best.
No, but it's very true.
Yeah.
I've only been here in Vietnam for 2 weeks now, and in the villages, I went to Tavan, close to Sapa. There, everyone was sort of doing fine. They all have their farmland,
Yes.
But here you can see people who struggle. You can just see it on their eyes if they struggle, or if they're like using the tourism or using the resources. You can. I can see all the gaps.
There's the typical Asian need to make money for money, and I think that's more deeply ingrained in Asian people than it is in everybody else in the world, quite frankly. And it's because of circumstances that they've come through within history, not just this generation or the last generation. It's been something that's always been there, and it's cultural, exactly. So that need is there, and you have to be careful when you have that need, because you will become opportunistic and you'll take on anything that pops up.
Well,
when something bad pops
everyone
up,
who can help. Yeah.
When something bad pops up, you're really tempted to go down that path. So the less that there is that's bad, and the more that there is that's normal, the better.
Yeah, there needs to be a balance.
But because I live here and I appreciate that, and I just hope it will continue to be that way for everybody in one form or another.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
8 years now.
8 years.
Yeah.
And what was, I don't know, not the biggest thing, but what was something that you saw here that you didn't see in Australia, besides living circumstances?
I think this is more communal than Australia.
Caring or?
Yeah, communal in all sorts of ways. So yes, there is that caring thing. I mean, the families here are in each other's faces all the time.
They sleep on top of each other.
I say that with a derogatory tone, but I admire it.
Yeah.
So I'm not being derogatory when I say that. They actually work and live and deal with things together, no matter where they are, how far they are separated, or how much they're separated at least. They still work in that way, which is a lot closer than what, for example, we Thai are. I know that there's a closeness amongst lots of ethnicities, families, but this is more exaggerated here. And that can be a bad thing, and it can be a good thing. It's a bad thing if you're seeking independence.
Yes.
And being negative in your seeking.
Typical issue for young Asians.
Correct. And young people in general. But insofar as a good thing, it is that there's sort of a brake applied.
Yeah.
And there's a need to measure up. even though you want to fight that, they want to fight that need to measure up. They know that sooner or later they're going to have to measure up. That's how I view it.
And maybe nowadays it's more balanced. Maybe there's some families where the parents can give up a bit of that role.
Control.
And
yeah, there probably is, but I don't think they should.
Because it's going to be like in the West then?
Well, like I left home at 16. You wouldn't do that here.
Yeah.
Okay. You'd
moved
leave
out with 18 as well.
Yeah. So you'd leave home at 16 if you're going to go and work, but because your parents are poor. Okay, so kids leave home because they're doing that. But I left home because I didn't want to be there.
Yeah. You can't do that here.
No, you wouldn't do that here so much.
Yeah,
I'm sure that they do, but you wouldn't.
It's not
you wouldn't be put in that
yeah.
position so much.
Yeah. Well, then you're definitely never going to go home again here.
Correct.
Yeah, that is very true. Wow. And you found our artist community here, or are you very much by yourself in this space? Are you looking for places to exhibition in here, or how's your art community going on here?
This is a tricky one, and I'm not being derogatory again. It's tricky because my work isn't really understood.
Yeah.
So people see my work and they really want to know how the hell do you do that, more than, oh, look at that, it's beautiful. So the appreciation is different. So I can produce something like the player or the shawl or 9 up there, and I will get a huge audience come and look at it, but no one will buy it. So that's where it gets a bit tricky.
Yeah, they need to understand what it is before they want to have it.
Now, having said that, if I put something up for sale, and I add the factor of it's a charity, then the items will do very well, because then I get the collectors. I don't get the artists coming. Then I get the collectors, the serious collectors coming, and they have got this appreciation of Western art more than what the artists do. And I say that because now you're in a position where the internet is opening things up. So they're getting more exposure to Western art than what they ever have. And some of them like it, and some of them like it a lot. So it's sort of a find your market situation. But I don't have a lot to sell now because I want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's not really a mass production.
No.
I mean, the prints would...
the issue I have with prints is that because it's black and white, then the prints are very hard to produce with the level of finesse that is needed. You really, to get a high quality print in color, you need to be able to get the high definition.
Yes.
To get high quality print in graphite, you need low definition, which nobody understands. So they try and push the definition more, and really all you can see is pencil marks and so forth.
I see.
So that interferes with the overall effect.
So you need to have as little pixels as possible, or I mean, there's probably a sweet spot somewhere.
Correct.
So you don't actually see every stroke, but it becomes a transition in the image.
Correct. Yes.
And no one knows how to do that here. But they're trying hard.
I try hard to do it myself because I gave up doing it commercially, because everybody's so attuned. The people who make art prints and so forth, or photograph art, they're so attuned to the color market. And colour is lots of bright colour, lots of light. Yeah. So in my studio, when I'm showing my art, I keep my light low, because the ambient light is enough for you to properly see the work that I'm producing. Yeah. Whereas if I was doing colour, I would want really bright lights to show off the colour.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
When I sell something, I actually send a piece of paper with it saying, stick with the ambient light, don't put bright light on it, angle it away.
No, but I understand it for sure. I mean, the color needs more light to reflect what it is.
Yeah, correct.
And do you scan it with a camera, or what do you do? Or you have like a scanner? Because you can buy like scanners.
Sure, but not in that size.
Yeah, well, that's
And also,
that's a bugger.
the majority of the scanners are roller scanners, so I don't really want to put the paper through a roller scanner.
Yeah, that is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. So that's 1 meter 400 by 800 high.
Is it the original?
That's the original, yeah. As you can see, somebody attacked it with a cloth.
In where?
Here.
They just attacked a piece of art.
My wife decided that she would get some cleaners in. And they came in and I said to my wife, do not let anybody touch my art, because I had it sitting pretty well like that. I didn't cover that one. I haven't put it in the frame and I haven't put it behind glass, because I don't like to do that because of the humidity. The humidity comes and it stretches and contracts.
It does.
So somebody came in here and decided they would clean that with a water, a rag, and
Clean that?
clean that. I don't know.
And what do you think
they
about it
thought.
now?
Well, I've repaired it, and I need to go around the border to fix it. Yeah, the repair's pretty good, but I still need to do some more work on it. But it's
I can see it. Not to haggle you, but I can see that. Yeah.
I can fix that easily enough.
Yeah.
But I want it up there as a reminder.
I mean, it tells a story.
It tells a story.
It tells a story for sure.
Yeah.
And you don't think you can exhibition the prints?
No.
And if you do the workshop, or have you ever done like a speaking, like where you say you do the live painting, but are there any events where they want you to speak about how to do it?
No.
You had never asked someone, or someone never asked you to do that?
I joined in a group for 1 or 2 sessions where it was an art talk, but because of my limited Vietnamese and their limited English, that was difficult.
Yeah.
But I do.
Maybe maximum the university would be.
No, they're even worse because none of them speak.
Okay.
None of them.
Yeah,
well,
you're
sorry,
right.
There's probably teachers who speak some English there.
It's very, no audience.
Yeah, there's not really a need for that.
Okay.
But I do train students that come here and will sit here and go through my course. And I do have quite a good course that can get people up to speed very, very fast.
Is that an online course or in person?
No, in person.
In person course.
Yeah, it's an in person because I have to see the actual depths that they're working at.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to train them how to shade. So I want them to use one pencil, and I want to see as many variations in the depth of shading that they can produce with one pencil. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that on a Zoom call.
No, not really. So.
But are you offering that through your website as well?
Yeah, for sure. But it's really a case of word of mouth.
Okay.
I've got a special Facebook page for Hanoi Pencil Studio.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And if I had to ask you the 3 questions I ask everyone, the first one would be, what does art mean to you?
Oh, well, for me at the moment, art's everything. So there's so many challenges there. It's my way of keeping alive, my way of keeping interested in life. I wish that I could work faster so I could respond to situations. So like if something comes up that's dramatic, I'd love to be able to draw that in great detail. But by the time that's done, then that issue's gone away. So I'd like to be able to do that, but I can't do that. So I've decided I'm not doing that. So there's challenges there, and the challenges are for me now to get better and better and better. More depth, maybe start exploring colour. So for me, art is everything. Art's the reason why I get up in the morning. Art is the reason why I look at people.
Yeah.
I want to see things.
Yeah.
I want to be able to respond to that in my way.
Does it help you to understand the world more or yourself?
Probably myself. The world, I'm 74, 75 years old. Take your pick whichever one you want to go back on that subject. But I've seen a lot of the world. I've been around the world multiple times. I've been to many countries. I've seen many forms of politics. I've seen many forms of person and people. I love it all. I do. I don't care where you are, who you are, what you're from, where you come from. so long as you're not a bad guy, then you're part of my people, sort of thing. That's my attitude. So I don't care who I talk to, even if I can't speak the language. It makes no difference to me. What we should try. I mean, there's tools now available. I can use one of these things where it's got a...
It's a translator.
And it's a translator. I mean, it's not hard. It's a translator. It's 300,000 on Lazada, you know, it's nothing.
It's true. There is so many like live, super quick translation.
So you can have a conversation.
Yeah.
So nothing's difficult now, insofar as that goes. But life is really interesting. I don't think a lot of the world at the moment, this precise moment, of course, but the world can get better, and hopefully through the exercises it's going through now, it will get even better.
Do you think that's something we always say?
No. Well, maybe other people do, but I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen in the 75 years these huge transitions that I talked about earlier in my engineering, in my electrical engineering field, but also through what is happening in the world. I would never think 20 years ago that you could do this. It was always something that was
give it another 20 years.
2001, the movie, or you know.
Yeah, no, that is something many people forget. They think we haven't developed technology-wise because everything is so available.
Yes.
They think, oh it wasn't movies were predicting this, but it's here, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not normal. We have a phone right now who can tell us where to go, and you go on Grab and you get someone to drive you there in the next 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You can't tell someone from 1970 this.
And 2 seconds after you've done that, you can go and have a look at what's on in the Louvre this week, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's craziness. And people are that used to it, are becoming that used to it. Some don't know what has come before because they never lived that. And they might have lived through the 90s and seen that, but go back into the 50s and try and experience that is very difficult for them. But when you've lived there and then you come through to here, it's a whole different perspective.
What do you think about AI?
Well, AI is having a huge impact on the art scene, and I'm really, really happy that I do what I do, because AI will not do this, because it will simply refer back to photography. AI can do this, but it's AI, it's not me. And it's not so-and-so, so-and-so, it's not Marco Grassi, it's not somebody else who I know, other people that I know that are famous who can do this sort of work. It's not Christian Blugels, for example. It's not Emmanuel Descagno, for example. It's none of these people doing it. And I think that the human value is going to become more and more important. More and more.
Well, so it takes all the things that are available online and makes a digital image, but it's never going to draw the line the way you do and have the real image, right?
I think that it potentially could do that.
Sure, the robot. That's true.
But that means everybody will be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because
no one, only the AI can do it.
That's right. That was where I was going.
Sorry, it's a jump your thoughts there.
You did it. But exactly what you said, and how you said it is exactly correct, because that's what's going to happen in the world. People are going to say, well, nobody can do that anymore. Yeah. And then one day, a Penter drawing will come out of nowhere with me sitting there drawing it like some of my photos do, and my time-lapse stuff, and the guys who are doing time-lapse and who are doing those photographs will suddenly become something that stands out.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a long way away.
Well, it goes quicker than you can watch sometimes.
That's correct.
They say that about a lot of things, and then it's here.
There's the difference. This is what I mean about good and great.
Yes.
You can stay good, AI will swallow you up.
Yeah. Well, also there's no, I always think about this because at the end of the day, there's this thing with photographs. If you have a blurry picture or blurry, unsharp photograph, just make it black and white and looks emotional.
Yeah.
But if you get AI to create a black and white photograph, it doesn't know what emotion to put into that image. It takes all emotions it can like maybe analyze through images that's seen and create something, but it doesn't have this instinctual decision. And I think that's same like you. Like you have a moment where like I want to draw this now, and AI doesn't have that.
Correct.
I think that's
the thing with for me. The thing that I like about realism is that many people will say, "Why not just take a photo?" Okay, so the photo I've got, which I work from, and I do that unashamedly. So that's a good photograph, and that could be there for somebody to use. But I don't want that photo. I don't even want to recreate that photo. I want to find the soul in that photo. And by working for 6 months drawing that piece, I can see every little bit, not just of this person, but of everything that's come into them. The fact that on this particular work, he's got multi-layers of clothes on to stay warm. He's got multiple bags that he keeps his gear in. Yeah. There's so many things about this man that are scars, or they are his whole world, his entity, that I now know about. Yeah. I know about how his beard grows. I know about how his eyebrows work. I know about his eyes. They're not, everybody says you can draw a round eye. It's not round at all. There's so many variations.
Oh yeah, it's not round, that's true.
Right. There's so many variations depending upon angle. And you can capture that and put that into your work, then I think that's got a lot more value.
Yeah. And character.
And character, yeah.
Emotionally,
the character.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you had to define what an artist is, what makes someone an artist?
Well, I think it's just got to be their passion. If you've got that passion, that's it. When the money takes over and you're reproducing what you've done before, you've lost the passion and you're no longer an artist. And that's quite a serious thing to say, because there are many artists in the world who do exactly that. There's a whole town in China where all they do is mass produce Van Goghs, and it's the same Van Gogh. Yes. And the guy can make a Van Gogh in 40 minutes. Okay. He's no longer an artist. He's lost his passion. He's doing the same thing day after day. And even if he varies that Van Gogh and makes it slightly different, he's still not an artist to me. He's not an artist. He's lost the passion. And he's not creating something that is from him, even though he's doing a copy. I mean, you could say the same thing about me doing photographs, but I've still got that passion. I want that passion. I want to explore that person. I want to explore that situation. And without that, you're not an artist. If you're reproducing the same thing, there's people that I know that do same landscape. Like if you look at Monet had his passion in that lake that he was working with, and he kept that passion, but it was still the same area that he was working on. Mm-hmm. But he did it passionately, so he changed the scene, he changed the lighting. It's still the same area that he worked on, but he changed it by doing that. But if you're not changing it, if you're not putting some heart and soul into each reproduction of that scene, then you've lost being an artist. You're just doing it for money.
Yeah, I think it's become the same with social media, making content. Like, I guess when you're filming your time-lapse, it's not really, I mean, some would say, oh, this is art, but it's content showing your art.
Correct.
And I guess a print is sort of just content.
Yes.
Sure, it can be a content of an art piece. Like if I print my photographs 1,000 times, it's a piece of art, but the thing itself is content.
Correct.
And
it's a way to raise money.
Yes.
Which an artist needs. There's no two ways about that. I'm not denying that, and I'm not saying that that's wrong for them to chase the money at all. Yeah. They've got a right to chase that money. But the difference is the passion.
Yeah, one's character and souls.
And I see so much rubbish where guys are just throwing paint around That's why I'm not a big fan of painting, and
I was going to ask you that earlier. I was like, nah, he's not going to like that at all.
You're right, but there's two reasons. And the second reason that I don't like it, because it's not really creative from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to put the paint into a line and then it came across and intersected and went off on that projection, yes, I can understand that. But if you're just throwing paint around and it splashes all over, you may as well leave the pig to do it.
Yes, it's not even a gradient or something going from a nice...
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. The other thing about that is that my heuristics have been trained for these details, so I don't make any sense of what I'm doing. It doesn't make any sense. People say, oh, I can see this in that work. This affects me emotionally in this way. I don't get any of that, because my heuristics and the way that I've trained my heuristics, they look at it and they see that dot and they see that scrape.
Yeah.
And that's unnecessary. Why is that dot like that? And this is just bundles of paint. And I don't see the beauty, and I don't see what everybody else is thinking that they see.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe that's the beauty of art. It makes people feel different things, and that's. I mean, I guess
but you're still allowed your personal viewpoint.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. and it's every viewpoint is valid. I think every viewpoint is valid. And do you think an artist has to share their work, or can they just do art and throw it onto the sofa and no one ever sees it?
I've burnt pieces.
You've burnt pieces?
Yeah, I burnt. So for me, in 10 years, because I work slowly, I've done about 50 pieces.
Yeah.
I've got 10 of those have been sold.
Wait, which number is that?
That one up there?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I can tell you.
You've done 50 pieces, and this is what you're doing?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Is that a problem?
No, that is... I thought you would have practiced like on small pieces like millions of times.
So this was done 35. That was number 35. I think I've actually numbered it here. 35.
Imagine you...
Yeah, 36.
Imagine you're...
No, there's no practice. No, not for me. Look, see that thing that's up on there now?
Yeah.
That's what I showed you before. See, on the easel. There's no practice. I don't practice. Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That people will sketch and they will try to get this and they'll try to get that. Okay, I understand that. But I just look at the image and I start to draw. And if I make, the one thing that I'm very good at is fixing my mistakes. Because I have to be because of what I do. So, but I just go straight in and draw. Now, if you look at someone like Dino Valls, who does this amazing work. He's a real hero from my point of view. And he has recently spent 4 years doing one painting. Now, Dino Valls will tell you that he's only ever painting one piece. And it's every piece that he done is that piece. And he spent 4 years recently on piece he's just finished, like I said before, where he planned every part of it out. He's got a 100-page document with drawings and sketches that he's done, and he's researched all this stuff and so forth, and he does a really spectacular job of finding these little images that make up these complex works that he does. And if ever you get the chance, look up Dino Valls.
Yes. Okay.
Spectacular works he's doing, and the latest piece is no exception to that. So some people work like that. I don't. I want that image that I see. I look for images, and I will create images if I don't see it. One piece that I did recently was, I called it pedestal dancing. And on that piece, which I can show you here, that piece I didn't find an image. I had to create the image.
Yeah.
So I had to create that image for me to actually work with that. And because I couldn't find it, I had to create it. But once I created the image using different tools, then I just go in and start drawing.
Wow. I would expect to take so many tries to okay.
I have done
Do you think that's
pieces.
talent? Or just obsession of detail and
Obsession.
yeah, you know, like maybe you just, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to
I don't want to
just be
mess
like,
around.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm very blunt and to
Yeah.
the point with things. So I don't need to be otherwise
Yeah.
in my work. So I have done works where I've done 3 attempts. So a piece that I sold a little while ago for a big auction. This piece was a different piece. In actual fact, it was a totally
I like
different
that.
drawing, and it took me 3 goes to get the background, which is not this background. I changed this and I put the black background on to sell this piece. But it took me 3 goes to get it right. So if I don't get something massive, then I'll go back and do it again, and I'll go back and do it again until I do get it right. But this piece was for a situation that was here in Hanoi,
Beautiful
where
drawing.
where they had a big fire in a block of apartments here, and it destroyed the homes of many people, and it killed some people, and people were destitute.
And that money went there.
So the money went there, yeah. And this was part of an auction where there were 15 different pieces that weren't auctioned on the night, but 4 pieces were, and this sold. And this sold for 46.
That is so meaningful. Like I would think that it's such a nice feeling to wake up and be like, oh, my love to create something actually creates opportunity for life again somewhere else.
Well, it's more a case of I appreciate that, and sometimes maybe I do feel that way, but how else can I help? I mean, I'm too old to help.
Yeah.
I'm not strong. I can't go out, like in the Blue Dragon cases, I can't go out when the rivers flood and help people dig out of the mud and dig things in the mud, and I can't go and build houses for them.
You can make
stuff
sure
like
they
that.
have money to eat something while they're helping them.
Yes, but I can contribute in this way. So I contribute in the way that I can.
Yeah.
That's the important point from that point of view.
Okay.
So, no, I don't practice. I don't sketch. My sketching is this sort of thing up here, but even that's a finished work.
I think that is amazing if that is your sketching. Dude, I can barely draw an eye. I've been trying to draw an eye for like the last year and it's looking terrible.
2 lessons I can teach you how to draw an eye.
Yeah, we can do that later on. The last question is, if your inner voice had a message to the world, what would it say?
Get over yourself. You're not that important. So many people these days think they are so important. They're not. We're all just humble people. You know, there's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody greater than you. But even that person needs to be humble about it. You know, these people who stand up and they beat their chest and so forth, that's just incredibly bad. The world needs to be a kinder place and needs to just realise that we are all in this thing together, and it doesn't matter where you are from or who you are. You're not better than the guy down the road who's this particular maker person. You're not better than the guy who's this colour. You're not worse than that guy who's that colour.
Yep.
We're all in this together. For God's sake, understand that. And forget, I said for God's sake, forget that part of it as well, because that's not relevant. There's huge things out there for us to discover yet, and that's not one of them. So stop being manipulated, stop being selfish, start just working for everybody else, and you'll get something back.
Yeah.
The world will provide.
Do you think you get what you give, or you get it 10 times more back?
No, I think you get a lot less back.
Okay.
Because of your expectation.
Mm-hmm.
You think that...
Because I hear many people, if you look online, it's like, yeah, give and you get so much back. It's like, yeah, but... Yeah, sorry.
I think it's more important that you appreciate the little bit that you do get back.
Yeah.
And work with that, rather than expecting the great big bit. I mean, this particular drawing did a lot of work for a lot of people, but it was not for me to claim.
Yeah.
The people who organise the auction, they're the ones who can claim that, not me.
Yeah.
The same for Blue Dragon with everything they've done for them. They're the heroes in this, not me. I'm just giving them a product that they can sell.
I see.
If my talent is there and they can make some money off it,
Yeah.
then no, so be it.
What do you think about expectations as an artist? Because you said money is great, everybody needs it as an artist. What should someone expect if they do art, and when are they? When would it be reasonable to expect something from showing your art? Or should there just be no expectation?
That's really hard because it's an individualistic thing, but the realism, the reality is that you're always going to get less back than what you expect, which is why I go back to make the most of everything that you get back, okay? So it's very easy to put yourself up as some sort of glorious painter or a renowned painter, a master or whatever, given time and when you are producing good work. And it's very easy at the same level to get knocked back because not everybody appreciates your work.
No, some people don't give a shit.
Exactly correct. They don't.
Yeah,
in fact, they will hate your work.
They will
and they will say they hate your work. So what?
Yeah.
So you need that balance, I think. If you can stay balanced and appreciate the little things that you get, you'll find that over time those little things add up to the bigger things. But you have to be satisfied with that feedback. You have to be satisfied with the criticism. You have to let the criticism grow into growth, turn into growth. You have to be able to take that criticism and push it to the next level. I said that I've done about 50 drawings, okay? So from my point of view, when I started, I had many things to fix, but I didn't fix many things on the next drawing. Instead, I went and made one thing better, which still left me with a crap product. But then I did that again on the next one, and I concentrated on creating something that's just one little bit better until it got to the point where I did one drawing and I had 1,000 likes in 24 hours on Facebook.
Wow.
One drawing did that for me. And I thought, okay, the CEO said something and I was really impressed with that. That really impressed me.
People, yeah.
The next drawing, I got 3 likes, or 3 positive, and I thought to myself, wow, I got 3. That's great.
Yeah.
Because I appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
you can grow if you take that attitude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I think that's very true. Those 3 people are just as valuable as having the response of 1,000 people, especially on something like online. And probably that one CEO has a way more personal impact for you than those 1,000 people liking your image. You never probably will know.
Yeah,
I think so too.
But you can't backtrack on that neither. You can't go and say, I've never made 1,000 again.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, you're just pulling yourself down.
Well, and then you're doing it for 1,000 people.
It's free.
While you were supposed to do it for yourself, right? Yeah.
Everybody will pull you down. It's no problem whatsoever for them. Even by ignoring you, people put you down.
Yeah.
So appreciate that and understand that.
Yeah.
And don't let it worry you. You've got to find your track. You've got to find your path, and you've got to try and improve on it. If you want to become a good artist, or if you want to become great. But then you have to ask the question, what does great actually mean to you?
That is a big question.
That is indeed.
And if you had to go back the day you started with the pencil case
10 years ago,
what would be one thing you tell yourself?
I found it. I found the thing I was looking for, but I didn't know that at the time. So I would tell myself, keep going. Except I tell myself everything I've told you,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Namely, you're going to get knocked on the head. People are going to like it. People are going to hate it. People are going to not understand it. Just do it for yourself and don't worry about all that, you know. I can sit here in my little cocoon and my little space that I've got here around me, and I can keep changing pictures on my wall, putting the next best thing up there. Or I can put it up here where it's stored. Or I can go and burn them.
Yeah.
That's my freedom. Nobody can take that away from me.
Yeah.
So I can decide. Or I can go out into the real world and maybe do some good.
Yeah.
So I can choose between those two as things that make me great. Not accolades. For me, I have to be great. So the very fact that I can raise some money and do some good in the world, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Barry, thank you.
My pleasure.
Awesome talking to you. Let's take some pictures.
By all means,
Thank you.
pleasure.
Amazing.